Hi guys, today we're going to make a comfrey and plantain salve. Comfrey I have growing in my garden. This is the comfrey right here. It is the Latin name for comfrey, translates kind of into knit bone. People used to use it for to heal broken bones. It's an anti-inflammatory. It encourages new cell growth and helps relieve inflammation that causes soreness, muscle soreness, or sore joints. You could use it on wounds, bruises. It's kind of good for everything. In this jar I have plantain that I just foraged in my yard. Plantain grows kind of everywhere. It's a weed. Plantain is good for skin irritations. It is good for insect bites, mosquito bites, poison ivy, rashes, and things like that. So together they work wonderfully to help basically any kind of skin irritation or ailment you may have. To make the salve, you would take 1 part of the comfrey, excuse me, and 1 part of the plantain, dried leaves. You have to dry the leaves first, or else the moisture in the leaves could spoil the oil in the salve. So once they're dry, you take 1 part of the comfrey, 1 part of the plantain, and put it in a mason jar, and then fill the mason jar to cover the herbs with olive oil or almond oil, whatever oil that you would like to use. Basically put it in a quart jar and leave a 1/2 inch headspace. Cover it up, leave it for about a month to 2-3 weeks. I think I left mine for 4 or 5 weeks, and then you strain out the herbs. So I made that's called an infusion, an herbal infusion with oil. I made mine a couple of weeks ago, and this is now what the infusion looks like. It's like a light green color. I heated it now in a pan of water because I'm going to add beeswax to the oil. The beeswax will make it firmer, so it could be used as a salve, be used more as a cream. So I was reading online that the best, really, this texture I want, the consistency I want, would be about 1 part of beeswax to 5 parts of oil. So I have about 2 cups of oil here. I'm going to put a little bit less, about 1/2 cup of beeswax, and beeswax will stick to everything. So you might, that's why I like to do it right into the jar instead of using another pot. I recommend using a bamboo chopstick, a skewer, something that is relatively disposable, so you can just throw it out because the beeswax is hard to wash off. Let's see if my oil is hot enough, if it'll melt the beeswax. I might need to turn it on a little bit longer. Okay, so once the beeswax is melted, I'm going to pour, it'll be hot, the jar, so make sure you use a hot plate, or what, oven mitt, that's what it's called, to pour it into your jars. So I have some little mason jars here. That is what I'm going to keep my salve in. Once the salve starts cooling but isn't completely cooled, I'm going to add a little bit of essential oils to each jar, depending on what I want to use it for. So for example, we use this salve, my mom does, for arthritis. And I like, and also because it's good for sore muscles, sore joints, I like to add, it's an oil blend from Young Living called Panaway. And that, it's kind of like it smells like Bengay, and it helps take away some of that pain that you might have from the muscle soreness or arthritis. I sometimes get like kind of like a carpal tunnel thing in my hand. My hands hurt sometimes, and I'll use that with the comfrey and plantain salve with the Panaway on my hands. In another jar, I'm going to probably put I'm going to make a boo-boo cream for my son for, you know, ouchies and any kind of boo-boos he gets. I don't want to use the Panaway for him, so I'll probably put maybe lavender, something very gentle for children. Lavender, maybe I'll put a drop of tea tree oil because that's antiseptic. So if he has any kinds of little cuts, he could put this on and it'll be, instead of like a Neosporin, he could use this. If I put a drop of tea tree oil, lavender, maybe frankincense is very healing. And then maybe in another jar I might leave it plain. I'm not sure. I'm going to experiment with different kinds of oils and see what I like. So that is how you make a comfrey and plantain all-purpose salve for any kind of aches, pains, boo-boos you may have. I hope you enjoy and have a good day.